Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Scorpio energy, and like usual on this channel, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Scorpio energy, which we can all have our hopes and faiths and beliefs and what we'd like to do in life, but then the bottom row is our more worldly, shadowy nature, and some people are struggling within themselves because of fears or insecurities or, there can be a lot of things of shadow energy, other people in our life, fear of judgment. But there's always going to be some people in the world who are moving forward right now in high vibe Scorpio energy. And there's going to be some people in the world that aren't ready to do that. And it's kind of just, we've all learned different lessons. We've all healed or grown or matured at different stages of life than other people. So at any given time that we're moving forward in life a certain way, there's going to be other people that maybe haven't learned how to play nicely with others or haven't gotten out of their more fearful or insecure or bossy or controlling or immature or impulsive self-centered ways of being. So it's just to see the truth of it, that people are where they're at. And so listen to your intuition. If you harness, we all tap into Scorpio energy. So if you're someone who wants to explore the mysteries of life, you acknowledge you're an emotionally complex human being, and you want to go on the roller coaster of life to do the highs and the lows, that not everything you pursue is going to work out the way you want, but you're not willing to live your, not live your authentic life or give up on your dreams anymore just because things didn't turn out the way you wanted. Some people do, and some people did give up on their dreams, and some people don't want to do love anymore because they could get hurt doing love. Also, I have another channel where we do a different type of format. I only do this 2-row format on this channel, but my other channel is called I Alone Fly Tarot, if any of you would want to check that out. Okay, well, this is a great example. The reason for the top row's reading is the Six of Wands, being creative and inspired to get out of your inner conflict and maybe move away from other people who might have inner conflict about moving forward in high vibe Leo energy, warm, loving, authentic. And we've all got lessons learned in life about even being willing to be more authentically ourselves and to be bold and brave enough that I'm going to keep pursuing my dreams. And the reason for the bottom row's reading is the Queen of Swords. Some people, the Queen of Swords is Aquarius energy. The queens can talk about how we think and feel. The masculine energies can represent how we present ourselves in the world and the action that we're taking. There could be some people in the world right now that would love to move forward like some other people are moving forward in life. It's just that so far they're just thinking about it, because the feminine figures can talk about how we think and feel, and other people are taking action on the things they want to bring into reality. Another thing that the Queen of Swords can mention is, some people felt betrayed. Things didn't work out the way they had wanted them to work out in their life in some regard. And some of those people are still working through feeling betrayed. Some of those people will never get over feeling betrayed. And some people are defensive to being more authentically themselves. Shadowy energy is about getting caught up in the illusion of the world and maybe not looking at life from a higher perspective, that it is about conforming to the world and making your life about these certain things to make you look victorious and successful. And some of those people aren't people who ever take creative, inspired action in their life. They never see through the illusion to get out of their egoic nature to free themselves. And then some people are also very egotistical and self-centered, is what shadowy Queen of Swords can be. So, we've all dealt with all sorts of different people, so listen to your intuition about the different people in your life. The Six of Wands is also why some people are moving forward in life. Some people knew other people who were loving and encouraging and supportive or living their authentic life, and they were motivated and inspired by those people or those things. I love to go to the movies, but like the movies and books and music and artwork, all those things are things that people created out of their imagination, and kind of life-giving energy is our more creative, inspired nature. Sometimes we're just motivated and inspired by things that we read, things that we saw, but we can also be motivated and inspired by other people in the world. And I think high vibe people try to inspire other people to love and believe in themselves. And that can make people who are in negative energy, who don't like to step out of their comfort zone, don't like change, don't want to maybe do life any differently, it can make those people mad. Shadowy energy can be like when we're kind of repeating an old pattern, because life's about learning lessons and seeing through our fears and insecurities and setting ourselves free from the things that manipulate us. And if there's some people in the world that like to manipulate people, you know, and they have this certain way of living life, how they like to conduct themselves in workplaces and friendships, in romantic relationships and family dynamics, yeah, those people can be mad that other people are inspiring people they know to love and believe in themselves. You know, it's this thing of fractals, like what happens at the big picture happens at the smaller picture. Like if you were to look at a tree at a distance, but then you take a tree branch and you hold it up close or something and kind of take a picture of it, it looks like the tree. And at the bigger picture, we live in a world of duality, and we refer to high vibe energy as like God and shadowy energy as like the devil. We live in a world of duality where we have free will, and like the seeds of the knowledge of good and evil are planted within us. And just like God and the devil are fighting for the souls of mankind, there's different people in the world who want people to hang out with them and live life the way they live it. And there's other people in the world in high vibe energy that want people to love and believe in themselves to live life the way they live it. So the people who might be more worldly focused or, more caught up in the world want people to stay in friendship and relationships with them and make their life about those things. And they don't like it when those people might have other things or people in their life that are encouraging them to live their life differently, to believe in themselves, to put life in perspective, to look at the big picture. I'm probably going to live 80 years. This is my life. How do I want to live my life? What is my truth? Do I find the way I'm living my life emotionally fulfilling or not? And some people live an emotionally unfulfilling life because it makes practical, logical sense. I should stay in this job, this friendship group, this relationship because it makes practical, logical sense. It has stability or security by worldly standards. It looks great. But is it really what motivates and inspires us, that lights us up? So you also could have dealt with some people who were prideful and egotistical, shadowy Leo energy. And maybe you had some people who wanted you to move forward with them, but they kind of harness this energy in a shadowy way. And the people you want to move forward with are the people who aren't operating from their ego, defensiveness, self-centeredness, immaturity, prideful, manipulative. You want to move forward with people who are inspired by love. So the high vibe people are taking a leap of faith because they've been illuminated to the truth. Like, I'm going to love and believe in myself. I have free will. Why would I hang out with people or choose to sit in thoughts and emotions within myself where I'm creating a little hell on earth? I have free will to choose to love and believe in myself, offer love and encouragement to others. If people want to move forward with me in an authentic, loving, hopeful, believing, just, fair way, then I'll keep moving forward with them. If they're not, I'm going to wish them peace because I've kind of been illuminated that they still have some lessons to learn because they're still maybe making decisions more out of pride or ego or fear or insecurity or codependency or whatever. And they haven't learned to be more authentically themselves and loving and warm. The sun's like life-giving energy. We all thrive and grow best in the energy of love. But some people are defensive to love because they could get hurt. They've been hurt before. They're not doing love. If they get in relationships where it's like, oh shit, I am starting to feel myself going to a place I don't want to go, where I feel vulnerable, I feel scared, I could get hurt. That's when some people will be like, nope, I'm going to keep aligning with my more defensive to love nature because I've been hurt. And until they do that work within themselves to illuminate that past pain and heartbreak, or their defensive nature, or their fear, or their insecurity, or their immaturity, egotistical nature, they're going to keep living their life like that. And the high vibe people have been illuminated to it. You're not ready yet, but I am. High vibe energy is like being a leader in the world. I understand you're not ready to move forward more authentically, or more loving, or more just, or more fair. And I don't have to really understand it. That you have to work through that. That's your, I've already worked through mine. My past pain, my heartbreak, my self-limiting beliefs, my more immature egoic nature, being more about myself. I want to be in loving, warm, just, and fair and balanced relationships. So I wish you peace. I hope it works out for you, but I'm moving on. So let's go look at what cards are in the top row. We have the Three of Wands. So we had been moving forward in something in the Six of Wands, working together with some people in our life, thinking like our dreams were going to come into reality. But some of the people, it's kind of more about them. You know, if we each have a dream, my dream and me being motivated, inspired, hopefully by love, and then the other person coming together, the Three of Wands, makes the Six of Wands. But we have to be both operating from the same foundation, like truth and love and justice and fairness. And the other person could be like, no, it's more about me, or ego, or fear, or being indulged, or something. And we realize, when we're in our ego and we're kind of more about ourselves, and we haven't been illuminated to the truth that if I want to work together with others, I need to be truthful and honest and authentic. It can't be me trying to be self-protective or more about myself. I have to have some hope and faith and belief in my dreams and love. So you realize some of the people can't move forward with you because you're kind of motivated and inspired by different things. And some other people are going to come with you. And you're looking for the other people that harness their Aries energy the same way as you. Because Aries energy in general is about the self. And you realize that some people, it's more about themselves. In some way, self-protective, defensive, fearful, insecure, they're kind of consumed with those things than having freed themselves from those things. And instead, you're looking for people who harness high vibe Aries energy. Some of you could have communicated with some people that you think harness high vibe Aries energy, regardless of what sun sign they are. And you've let go and moved away from people who kind of harness their Aries energy in a shadowy way, which can be all about the self, bossy, controlling, maybe more about the worldly point of life than a loving viewpoint of life. You're taking bold, brave, confident action in your life, and some of the people who don't have the same dream you do, because from the 3 to the 1 is kind of letting go of the Two of Wands, which the Two of Wands is Aries energy also, of like imagining how you imagine your future. And then we take action to try to bring that dream into reality. And for the people who don't have like the same dream as you do, you're letting go of those people, and you're communicating with the people in the world who you do think are on the same page as you. And to find out if those people are bold and brave and confident to move forward and take a leap of faith to, a new job, a new friend, a new romantic relationship where people are authentic and loving and warm. In the Two of Cups, love. You're motivated and inspired by aligning with your more creative, inspired, loving nature. And there's some people in the world that are more aligned with and inspired by being about themselves or the world. We've all got lessons learned. So immaturity, impulsiveness, laziness, self-centeredness, whatever. Everybody's got lessons to learn. And you just realize that You want to hang out with some people who've learned some of the same life lessons you have. Three of Pentacles, to work together cooperatively in the world. And then the World card is also about willing to learn lessons in life, to close out a phase of life where some people want you to work together with them, but it's kind of like it's more about them, where the scales are tipped in their favor. It's like this is supposed to be about equal give and take. And then with the Six of Wands holding the one wand, that means the five wands are over there, and the fives in tarot can talk about change. Have we both changed? Have we both gotten out of our egoic nature, inspired to realize and be illuminated to the truth that it isn't supposed to be more about me and my wants and my needs and my lust and my greed and my pride and my ego, and I'm supposed to have the scales tipped in my favor in a relationship? We're supposed to learn the lesson that it's about always continuing to grow and mature and heal ourselves so we can keep investing in other people who are doing that. And then together we're both moving forward in this loving way. The Wands energy back here too, and the Six of Wands and the Fool card. Some people think it's more about them indulging themselves in the relationship. It's good for their ego or their image, but like they're not supposed to be like authentic and vulnerable, or you're supposed to indulge them. Like they think they should be indulged for some reason, or that's the way they view relationships. And if that's their dream relationship, that's fine. Go find someone else to indulge you. Go find someone else to make it more about you, or you being more about yourself. But it's not going to be in a relationship with me, is what some of the high vibe people are saying. Until people have detached from this old view of life, that is kind of about them trying to get in relationships with balanced, loving people where they, who are being authentic and loving and warm and self-disciplined, and they just get to indulge themselves in a relationship with that person. The loving people have seen through the illusion and the pride and the ego and the fear and the insecurity and the defensive nature. They want to be in a relationship where there's equal give and take. If I'm loving and warm and encouraging and authentic, kind of like letting my more vulnerable nature out to play in the world, I want to be in relationships with other people who are doing the same. Not other people who are trying to manipulate me or control me or think they're the boss of me, or that it's more about them than both of us. Where people have been illuminated to the truth that it's about being independent in the world. The Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy, doing the inner work within yourself to heal from your fears, your insecurities, your past pain and heartbreak. This way of viewing workplaces, friendships, or relationships, that some high vibe people know their worth and value. And they've done the inner work to free themselves from the things that used to manipulate them and their fears and their insecurities, to grow up and mature themselves to be authentic and loving and warm and just and fair, to treat other people the way they like to be treated. And they want to be in relationships with other people who've learned those lessons. A very stable, grounded, self-aware, introspective, loving, nurturing person who isn't about thinking they should just be able to indulge themselves in relationships with people who are like that, instead of really being that type of person themselves. And that's kind of like an injustice, right? If we have loving people being like trying to do equal give and take in a relationship, and the other person is like, well, I'll create the illusion I'm willing to do equal give and take with you, and I'll kind of act like you act in the relationship, but it's not really authentically who I am. You can stay in these different types of relationships with people for a long time, and you kind of don't really know, there comes the point, because we can all get in relationships and we're all on the same page at whatever page of life we were on. It's just that sometimes some people do have hope and faith and belief in love, and they get in relationships and friendships and workplaces with people who aren't, they'd have some more things to work through. And so we can stay in those friendships, workplaces, and relationships with them for a long time. And then when it gets to be where the one person is kind of ready to kind of has done this work within themselves, inspired to love kind of their worldly foundation, so that their more worldly nature and their loving intuitive nature can work together and go on this new journey, where before it could have always been battling within themselves or kind of giving into their more worldly nature or something. They're ready, they got balanced within themselves to work cooperatively, like, because high vibe energy, you would treat yourself with love and respect and kindness and compassion. You've learned the truth of that. I need to be my own best mother, father, coach voice in my head, so that I grow to my full potential, and I don't want the past to hold me back, and I don't want my fears to hold me back. I want to live my authentic life. I want to love myself. I want to be loving and encouraging and compassionate, forgiving to myself for the lessons I've learned. And when you realize how hard that is to do within yourself, I think it makes you a lot more compassionate to other people in your life who didn't free themselves from the things that manipulate them from being more open and authentic and loving and warm. And I think you wish them peace. Some of you might have some people in the world who, some of them would like to make you an offer. And because we live in a world of duality and you have free will, I think as you move forward, you're going to meet different types of people, and you'll use your discernment to figure out where they're at. You might be single, you might look stable, you might look grounded, you might look like, this warm, loving person, but really, is that the truth of you? Because I've dealt with people who are a good false mask. Some of the people in your life who previously were trying to control you in a workplace or a friendship realize it's over because you saw the truth. And they realize they're going to have to go find someone else who's kind of a little bit more, has some lessons to learn. So you could just call that kind of being more in their ego, that there's some truths they haven't been illuminated about, or they just don't know the truth of this person. But you've already been illuminated to the truth, and you've become independent of them. And so some of those people would maybe like to still have you work there or be your friend or be in a romantic relationship with you, but they know it's over because you've already been illuminated to the truth of who they are. And so long as they like to live their life where it's more about them kind of being bossy and controlling in workplaces or friendships, you don't want to work there anymore. Where it's more about them indulging themselves without really being more authentic and independent, then you don't want to be in a relationship with them. Some people, when we're kind of in our shadowy nature, we have our own things that manipulate us, and then we probably have people we're hanging out with in our life that are happy we live our life that way. And some of the people that you would like to have move forward with you, they're not willing to become independent of a foundation of people that they could love. There could be people attracted to you that like to have a victory with you, but they know if they were to do that, they'd be operating out of ego, and it would end a loving relationship they're in. So they're going to keep moving forward with the people they should be moving forward with, because they're a high vibe person too. And they know if they were to do that, they'd be acting out of immaturity and ego. Other people already know they were like that, and they know you've moved on. And there's other people that are going to see you, and they're happy that you are independent and you love and believe in yourself. And some of those people are going to close out some things in their life. If it's a way of viewing life, being in their fear, being kind of thinking it should be more about them, male or female, People can be kind of bossy. Some people can be a little manipulative. People can think the scales should be tipped in their favor a little bit for some reason, male or female. The people that are willing to move forward with you, and that's siblings, parents, adult children, friends, some of those people are going to move forward with you. Some people are going to, sometimes shadowy people, their judgment is clouded. Some people feel betrayed in the relationship they're in for some reason, and they're not seeing the truth about who you are. And some of those people do have this more not being authentic kind of way of being about them. Some of those people are going to end a relationship to come think that they can be the next person to come indulge in a relationship, and they'll realize, oh shit, I was not seeing this clearly. I thought they were kind of like where I was in my life, or where the people I was previously in a relationship with. But oh shit, yeah, no fucking with you. You're no longer like naive and gullible, or kind of indulging people in poor behavior. People, if they want to come be in a relationship with you, they have to be willing to be authentic. And some people are like, oh, I kind of thought because you were single that maybe I could come indulge in a relationship. I guess I was kind of in my ego and I wasn't listening to my intuition to see things clearly. And then some of those people are going to have to go back to where they came from, because, they weren't seeing you clearly. So I think high vibe people are moving forward, having a new beginning, victoriously going on a new journey, because you did learn the lessons you were meant to learn from a certain phase of life. You do know your worth and value now. You have learned to get balance between your more worldly nature and your intuitive, creative nature, and you're working together, inspired by truth and love, because that's how we get our shadow nature to kind of move forward with us, right? Which is our fear and our insecurity and our mind that's made to protect us, and we can get all caught up in all this thing about trying to protect ourselves from being hurt. And back in the day when we were all cave people and wild animals, now the biggest thing to protect us from is love. And we've got to be the master of our mind and our thoughts and our emotions. And we offer ourselves love and compassion and forgiveness. It's like our scared little inner child that we take with us. It's like, come on, you can do this. We have done the work within ourselves. We've healed, we've grown, we've matured, we've learned to listen to our intuition. We've learned not to take action out of pride and ego and fear and insecurity and codependency. We're going to listen to our intuition moving forward. We'll be okay. We're stable and grounded. We're in a much better place than we were before, and we can move forward in this new way. And it's kind of like you could look at God doing that with us. Come on, you can do this. It's kind of like we in turn do that to our own inner child nature. So like you could, look at us as children of God, and you don't even have to be religious. Just life force energy is just the easiest way to explain it. But just like we think of like God treating us like children to love and encourage, we in turn, from the fractal thing, from the bigger to the smaller, we in turn learn to do that to ourselves, to love and believe in ourselves, so that we can move forward. Let's go down to the bottom row. There could be a part of us, that would kind of like to stay living our life the way we were living it, because we wanted the Aquarius energy is also represented by the star card. For one, we wanted a dream to come into reality, and we kind of want what we want. And in our shadow nature, that's us in our shadowy Aries energy. But God, I wanted this to work out. And God's like, yeah, but that didn't work out because those people have free will. But I wanted it to work out. Make them change. God's like, they got free will. The truth will set you free. Look at life from the bigger perspective. People can only move forward in life differently if they've kind of learned the lessons they were meant to learn from the prior phase of life. Let's go look at what some lessons some people haven't learned that you wished they would have learned. We have the High Priestess, the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. Well, in shadow, the High Priestess can, for one, be about hiding the truth. Queen of Swords has a sword of truth here, but we're talking about shadowy energy. I have fear, I have insecurity, I'm defensive, I'm immature, I haven't learned some lessons in life, I don't want to step out of my comfort zone, I'm egotistical, I'm self-centered, whatever the case might be. There's some people right now that could be hiding, they'd like to invest in moving forward with you. Like to close out a cycle and move forward with you. But they're defensive in the Nine of Wands of being more independent. We've got to learn to stand up to our own shadow nature. Some people, that's the biggest thing to overcome. It's not people outside of us. It starts within ourselves. And again, the queens talk about how we think and feel. There's a part of people that would like to move forward in life differently. They have a dream too. But they keep defending their more worldly nature of the Nine of Pentacles. So, if we're not living our life in hope and faith and belief and love, and loving and believing in ourselves to be more independent in the world, that's because we're defending our more worldly view of life. Some people have a harsh, critical inner voice. Or an immature, self-centered inner voice that tells them that they hide from the world is that I think it's about me in shadowy Eight of Cups, that it's more supposed to be about me indulging myself. And I don't want to become independent of that nature within myself. So basically, some people could be struggling within themselves. And there's part of us that would like to maybe move forward with some people who maybe we don't really think are on the same page as us, but we're kind of defensive maybe because we're single and we want a dream to come into reality. Well, we can go about it that way if we want, for those of you that are single, but it's probably not going to turn out the way we thought, because if we get in relationships, because I kind of want to have a new beginning, I want my dreams to come into reality, but I'm not listening to my intuition and truth and love to guide my decisions. I want what I want, God, and I'm tired of maybe being single. I know, I have an idea. I'm going to make an offer to someone who I already might know is kind of defensive. Shadowy Sagittarius, defensive, maybe immature, kind of a player, maybe likes to indulge himself, might be a little egotistical or self-centered, or someone else who I think might be defensive because they've been betrayed maybe, or feel betrayed that their dreams didn't come into reality the way they wanted, and they're single, and hope together we can work it out. Well, we can all do that, and we've probably all done something, because we're just at where we're at. And a lot of times in our life, we weren't listening to our intuition to be more bold and brave and confident within ourselves. So, and there's some people right now who are in a relationship like that because that's where they both were. And that's the thing. We've all been there. None of us were illuminated to the truth in the past. We've all got lessons to learn. We can all have been sad, want to be in a relationship. So then we're hoping that if we get in a relationship with someone, kind of thinking maybe we're on the same page, the only difference is it can work out. And for some of the people that are in a relationship where they still have some lessons learned, as long as both people are willing to learn the lessons together. Oops, sorry, I'll turn down the camera. So long as both people are willing to learn those lessons, then they go through this phase and they come up here and they say, I might have initially kind of invested in moving forward in this relationship because I felt betrayed by someone else, or, I was single. I didn't want to be single. I kind of wanted to indulge myself in a relationship with someone else who was single. So long as both people are motivated, because we can all be in a funk, we've all got lessons learned. So long as both people kind of have this hope and faith and belief still in their dreams and not willing to give up their dreams, that even though that would be kind of harnessing this high vibe Nine of Pentacles energy, I do still have a dream. Just because things didn't work out and I might be sad, things that, blah, 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 I got lessons learned, I still have my dream. So long as both people are willing in the relationship to listen to their intuition, and through the process of the relationship learn to become more emotionally, to love themselves, to invest in loving themselves. The Eight of Cups walks to the Nine of Cups, which can be about becoming more emotionally independent. So long as both people are motivated by that dream to become emotionally independent of the past, to get out of feeling betrayed by whatever hadn't worked out in the past before, to give themselves that cup of love to heal. And then the Nine of Wands and Sagittarius can be about higher learning and education. I want to see kind of like the lesson I was meant to learn from that past life experience, and to be inspired to continue to love and believe in myself and heal, and whoever I have in my life, my friends, any romantic interest, whatever that I'm moving forward with, to get kind of back up on my feet again. And so again, if the people in our life that we could have become friends with, that we got in romantic relationships with, workplaces, so long as the people that we're doing that with, and we're drawn and attracted to certain people because we have lessons learned from them, some of those people won't keep moving forward with us. Some of those people will. It's just, who are the people who, even though we could have all had lessons learned at a certain phase in life, were willing to not give up their dreams. And then those people together see the truth, and they want their dreams to come into reality. And they realize if they want their dreams to come into reality, then everybody has to be inspired by love. And during the process, it's kind of like sifting the chaff from the wheat, or separating the sheep from the goats, to find out who really is on the same page as me and who isn't. Who did do this work within themselves to heal and grow and mature themselves. Those are the people that are ready to go to the next phase and move forward with me at this point in time in my life. And maybe the other people aren't ready. Maybe they will later. And maybe as we're moving forward in life, they will learn those lessons. And we'll just, even though, there could be a part of us that would want to go back and be in a relationship with some of those people, our fact that we have, if our intuition is telling us that some of those people later in life, things maybe just didn't work out the way they wanted, and then they come and think that they can come back and get in a relationship with us, but our intuition is telling us they're still operating from their egoic nature, their prideful nature. They aren't illuminating the truth. They aren't communicating the lessons they've learned in the insight, or stuff like that, that we can basically, it's like, you're the same person you were before. No. So even though there might be a part of me, because the Fool is Aries energy, there's a part of myself that would like to go back and be in a relationship with them, because I always dreamed of them moving forward with me in a long-term friendship or family dynamic. The work I've put in to, it's kind of like you can't unsee the truth. And for some people, say it was a romantic interest, for some people it'd be like, it kind of illuminated to me the lessons and things I've learned in life versus the things you've learned in life. And the whole thing is, it takes a long time to learn lessons. Just like, how long did it take for any of you, if you used to have a harsh critical inner voice? I'm going to quit belittling myself and berating myself and insulting myself and being negative and down about myself. You don't decide, I'm going to change that, and boom, the next day, from that day forward, you're not doing it anymore. We have habits. And it takes a long time. It can take years to get out of having a harsh critical inner voice. So it's kind of like realizing that I had learned some lessons when we were in relationship together, when you had the opportunity to move forward with me in a just and fair and open, authentic, loving way and get out of your defensive nature or your egoic nature or your immature nature or your self-centered nature or it being all about you or you wanted to go be single. I've moved on, and it kind of illuminated the truth that, we're motivated and inspired by different things. We're on different pages of life. And I might not be willing to, people become acquaintances. Seems like there was that song, Someone That I Used to Know. You're someone that I used to know. And, we don't want to be in an energy of ugliness, and we don't want to make decisions out of pride and ego or vengefulness. It's just that I've healed from it. And now, before, I might have viewed the relationship differently, and I really wanted a dream to come into reality with you. But maybe it was because I really hadn't learned to love and believe in myself. And now I've healed and I'm more independent and I know my worth and value. And I'm not as attached as I was before. And if you seem to be before like you wanted to distance yourself, yeah, I felt betrayed. But I did this work within myself to see, and everybody's got the right to live their life whatever way they want, hang out with whoever they want, pursue whatever they want. I thought we were going to work on a dream together, and apparently it kind of illuminated that wasn't where you were at. So, high vibe energy is about getting to a place of peace. It's like I wish you peace, but I learned some lessons through this life experience that, I don't know, just that I think we're on different pages. And when I was, we're either willing to keep putting in work and effort cooperatively with people because we love them and we're motivated and inspired to work with them. But sometimes, kind of when we're in shadowy energy, people try to manipulate people to get them to do what they want. Some people don't like that you've healed, that you've become more independent of them. Some people like you looking to them like they're the shining star in your life and you should put them up on some pedestal, the people looking up at someone. And some people like to play that role in people's life, whether it's just a family member or a friend. Well, I like it when you're kind of defensive and you don't really know your worth and value because then you view me this certain way. And that's my idea of like the dream relationship and friendship. And if you're no longer in that energy, I don't know that I want to be your friend anymore. And maybe I'll go find someone else to be a friend because you've kind of like healed and grown and matured. And in order for me to move forward with you, I'd have to quit viewing like the dream friendship is kind of where I get to be in this higher position, like a teacher to a student or a parent to a child. Some people like those dynamic relationships where, again, it's out of balance. One person is kind of in a position of power or authority. And the whole thing is, some people did have a position of power or authority in your life, whether that was a boss, a friend, or a romantic relationship, and they abused the kind of the love that you had for them, maybe to try to manipulate you. And people who really have your best interests at heart would never want to hurt the people in their life that they know who love them. Anyway, what's coming up? What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Scorpio energy? And then this is kind of interesting. Down here we have the Eight of Cups, which is going into Pisces energy. And it's walking away from the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is Scorpio energy. So in our previous some previous situations we could have dealt with. We could have been invested in something. Other people can be invested in whatever they're invested in. And again, within things within themselves about how they view themselves and the world, other people in their life. But it could have been a little more emotionally shallow or superficial, basically, because maybe we just hadn't learned to love ourselves. So, you could look at maybe looking to other people to love you in codependent energy is maybe drawn towards people who you might have gotten drawn into being in relationships with people who are more emotionally shallow or superficial, or it was just a phase of life. But Pisces energy, Scorpio energy is fixed energy. It's kind of like the energy we get into when we're in the midst of a relationship, whatever type of relationship it is. And then Pisces energy helps us transition out. And Aquarius energy is a fixed sign energy also. Sagittarius is immutable. Virgo is immutable. Some people just aren't ready to transition out of a way of viewing life. And they would have to harness these three Pisces, Sagittarius, and Virgo energy to transition out. And it means you have to be willing to love yourself. You got to get out of your ego. That can be a roadblock for some people. Loving yourself can be a roadblock. Getting out of your ego, because high vibe Sagittarius is about higher learning and education. You got to be willing to admit that maybe you got some lessons to learn in life, or maybe you should humble yourself, or maybe realize it's not all about you. And to become more independent of some things. And for some people, just becoming independent of things within themselves that manipulate them, how the world can manipulate them, other people in their life, how they can manipulate them. They're just not ready to do it yet, to kind of be more bold and brave and confident in their foundations, to kind of claim their independence. That, if I'm going to work together with other people, I want to be in relationships with two independent. I want us both to be independent. And then we work together, and it's that circle part where we work cooperatively together. But I'm my own human being, and you're your own human being, and you have the things in life that particularly motivate and inspire you, and that you could get lost in and enjoy doing for hours. And I have things that I like to do and that I enjoy, that I could get lost in for hours. And if we're both operating from truth and love and justice and fairness and acting with character and integrity, what's the problem? But there can be people in the world who don't like people being independent of them, because maybe in their fear and insecurity, it would require them, when one person in a relationship dynamic changes, it changes the whole dynamic. It kind of, it's kind of like if you're not playing the game anymore the way you used to play the game before. Well, I do this and you do that. Well, why aren't you doing that? I did this. You're supposed to do that. It's like, I'm not doing that anymore. It's like, what the fuck? Other people have to kind of adapt to the fact that other people are kind of going about things differently now. And then some people don't like that. This is the way we used to do it. This is the way I want to do it. And some of those people get so mad, they don't want to be in the relationship anymore either. I want you to leave. You changed. You're not indulging me anymore. It's not more about me. I thought we were both going to stay defensive. I thought we were both going to make our life about the world or ego or image or indulgence or me. You're different. So some people are mad that some people change. Other people are waiting to get in a relationship with you. There could be other people who wanted to be in a relationship with some people, but they didn't want to get in a relationship with them if they didn't feel they had really closed out this old cycle in their life. Some people want, it could even be like a job, and they liked you, wanted to offer you a job, but they're waiting to work through maybe why something didn't work out in the past and what other people thought about why you became independent of that job. And once they work through all that and see the truth, then they can make you the offer to go on this new journey. What's coming up for people who aren't some high vibe Scorpio energy that they might not, oh my goodness, that they might not see coming? The Hierophant, the High Priestess, the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Fool card, because of the Ace of Cups. So, again, different types of people that you're going to meet, different people that reach out to you, people from your past, people in your present, people from your future, whatever the case might be. There's going to be some people that know that you had love for them. Some of those people are hiding that they'd like to invest in a new beginning with you, but they still kind of align with their more immature, maybe stubborn, prideful nature. So they could be unwilling to do it, or they make you an offer thinking you still don't know the truth about who they are. And your own hopeful, believing nature that wants to have a new beginning, and you don't want to invest in that same type of job or relationship or friendship anymore. Your own hopeful, believing inner child nature that sees the truth is going to stop you from kind of giving in to indulging yourself in your more egoic nature. Even though some of those people are people that you love, it's like, if my intuition is telling me that you harness shadowy Taurus, shadowy Cancer, Pisces, shadowy Taurus, your philosophy of life is to hide that your philosophy of life is that you think people should be a fool for you and indulge you in your more immature worldly nature. And that's not where I'm at anymore. I didn't enjoy being in a relationship with people who are like that. I need to be in relationships with people who are willing to take a leap of faith and love. And there's going to be other people who could know that you have love for them or you're a loving person. And those people are on the same page as you. You know, Taurus energy talks about, you don't have to be dealing with a Taurus. Taurus has to do with our underlying philosophy of life, how we view life. Is it more, I love the world, I love myself, I'm more about my ego and my image, I'm all about investing in the world. Aren't you tempted? Can I tempt you with these things of the world? Are you still a fool for the world? Do you want to get in a relationship with me because of the ego and the image and the status and the money and the materialism? And I think I have those things, and you're loving. You want to come get in a relationship? I'll give you my things of the world for your loving nature. And you're like, I've already been in relationships with people who are like that. It didn't work out. I need to be in relationships with people who kind of offered love to their worldly philosophy of life. To start listening to their intuition and invest in being a student of life who gets out of their more worldly, egoic nature, who's willing to take a leap of faith and love. And their philosophy of life is, I get in relationships, and if I want to be in relationships with loving people, I should be a loving person. You know, it's kind of like the devil trying to tempt love by these things of the world. And God is saying, listen to your intuition. We can all be tempted by things of the world and our lust and our greed and our pride and our ego. But the devil lies. If we already know that some people's truth is that they're defensive to high vibe Scorpio energy, Six of Cups, of being authentic and vulnerable, letting their inner child out to play, being balanced within themselves, where a dream could come into reality, but they're defensive to that because their idea of the dream life is to keep repeating the pattern that they repeat. Maybe this more immature view of life. Don't we get in relationships so that we look victorious and successful because we just want to be in a relationship? Look, I'm in a relationship. look, look, look. You know? Or are we getting in relationships because of love, you know? And some people don't even want to do love, like I say. It's all about, I get hurt doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to find someone I can get along with and work with where it looks victorious and successful by worldly standards. They're willing to work with me. I'm good. I'm not in danger of getting hurt here because I didn't let myself have deep emotional feelings for this person. Perfect. Oh my God. That's their idea of the dream life. And then some people just want to stay single because their dream isn't just defensive to the more worldly dream where you really take a leap of faith and love. And some of the people aren't getting in a relationship with some people because they know the other people want them to be more authentic and vulnerable and independent of their being defensive, and they're not willing to give up their defensive nature. Okay, what's coming up for people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Scorpio energy? Oh, so yeah, I think you're going to move forward victoriously, and there's going to be people who want, because probably 50% of the world is on the same page as you are, and then the other 50% of the world are kind of more aligned with their defensive nature, fearful nature, immature nature, egotistical nature. But there's other people that are going to want to have new emotional beginnings with you, and maybe, at work or friendships or relationships, because the Taurus Hierophant can represent all those institutions of the world, because they see that you're on the same page as them. And they're intuitive, just like you are, that life is about tipping the scales more in favor of your loving nature to encourage your more worldly, shadowy energy to move forward with you. But it's kind of like you have to stay in the driver's seat. And we can't ever get rid of our shadow nature. This is like your loving nature. And with like the 7 of Pentacles, I'm more, because there's 12, we have to tip in favor of love with the 7. Love is what drives me. And I do have the competition, my own shadow nature, dragging with me the whole time, but I offer it love and encouragement to basically let it know I'm not going to give in to you and take some foolish, reckless action in my life. Because when I get off the path of truth and love and justice and fairness and balance within myself, it drives my life off into the ditch, and then I feel betrayed. Well, the only person who ultimately can betray me is me. When I open the door to taking action in fear, insecurity, pride, ego, lust, greed, immaturity, codependency, it opens the door for shadow to come in. It's like, oh, she got off the path. She kind of took a U-turn. She got off focus. Come on in. She has some lessons to learn. And when we open the door to shadow, there's more than 50% of the people in the world who are happy that we decided to do that, but we have no control over what we open it to. We could have some fear and insecurity and we drag in a narcissist. And maybe if you dragged in a narcissist, well, not you dragged it in, but it came in, could have been to really wake you up. This has to be the last time you open this door to shadow, because you have seen, and with the devil, it can be all those things that get a hold of us that it can be hard to get out of it again. Okay, let's go see what's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Scorpio energy that they might not see coming up. The 6 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the Leo Strength card, because of the Queen of Swords. One thing they didn't see coming up was that someone who they had worked with in their past, because 6 Cups can talk about the past, that they could know had love for them. Those people have moved on. Those people kind of saw the truth that these people they were dealing with harness this energy in a shadowy way, or they don't have the same dream. We're just not on the same page. the type of relationships you want to be in, the type of people you want to hang out with, the way you're motivated and inspired by the dream life is different than what I'm inspired by. And I've seen the truth of that. And again, we come in contact with all these different people to help us get clear about our truth. And you've tempered your fear and your insecurity and your pride and ego to stand up for what you believe in, and you're looking to the future. And you're also protecting your more emotionally loving nature from people who did leave you out in the cold, who did try to manipulate and control you. So they're surprised because some of the shadowy people are harnessing shadowy Scorpio, shadowy Taurus, again, their philosophy of life, and shadowy Leo and Aquarius, where this is how I work together with people. And we're supposed to keep moving forward in relationship. And you're just like supposed to, I don't care if you feel left out in the cold. I don't care if it bothers you. I'm kind of in my ego. This is how I view life. And the other people said, yeah, I hope that works out for you. I'm leaving. And they could be surprised. And now they could feel the ones who feel betrayed. Even though when you were offering them love and hope and faith and belief and encouragement, and they were being defensive to moving forward with you and maybe thought they wanted to become single from you and were defensive to working together with you cooperatively, now they're surprised that they're the ones who maybe feel upset because they never maybe thought they would feel upset. But part of it could be because they never thought you would really detach and become independent of them. It's like, oh, they'll be back. I'm sure they'll act like they're going on this new journey, but I bet they won't keep loving and believing in themselves, and they'll come back and indulge me in my ego. And you didn't. And you moved on. And now they could be kind of surprised that they're the ones who feel kind of betrayed. But how can they say that they feel betrayed when they were the one who is acting in an unjust, unfair, bossy, controlling, immature, whatever way of being? You know? How can they tell you that they're mad that you moved on when they were doing things that weren't conducive to a relationship moving forward cooperatively? Another thing they might not see coming is you might have someone from your past that want people in your life. It can mean the past. It can also mean people that you're in relationship with are going to move forward with you. Or some people from your past are going to move forward with you. And some of those people didn't think those people would. Maybe they could think that some of those people felt betrayed by you before, or that they'd align with them and think they were all that. They wouldn't align with you. And I don't think the high vibe people really care. I wish you all peace and love. I hope people see life from a higher perspective. I hope people aren't being manipulated. But it is what it is. And I'm moving forward with whoever wants to move forward with me in the world. And I wish the rest of you peace. And, that can be the difference. Who do we have in our life who we're aligning with? Who's trying to manipulate and control us or instill fear or insecurity or tempt us in our lust or our greed or our fear and fear of change? And who's encouraging us to love and believe in ourselves and face our fears and listen to our intuition? Who's trying to make us not listen to our intuition, get caught up in our head? Some of the people who didn't move forward with some of the loving people also don't see coming that odds are some of the people they're working with are going to become defensive to them. Because if they're not aligned within their loving nature and they rejected the loving people in their life, who are they hanging out with? And those people are in their life trying, unbeknownst to them, but if you're not acting from love, it's kind of trying to teach other people, why are you hanging out with me? I work with you in a way that makes you feel left out in the cold, and you have to temper your ego being around me. Why are you hanging out with me? I came into your life. I don't even realize it. I came into your life to teach you to love and believe in yourself. And so And if they're kind of manipulative, bossy, controlling people, they're not operating from love. It's like, it can be like an addiction. It gets worse and worse over time. And they could find the very people that they looked up to and admired, that they wanted to work with, make them feel left out in the cold. And kind of got them in their ego. It's like, that's because it's how you should feel hanging around people who aren't loving. But some of those people are going to keep defending those people because those people, they're on the same page. They both view life the same way. They've both been betrayed by people. They both maybe don't want to do deep, meaningful relationships, and they both, or all of them, are people who gave up on believing in their dreams or thinking there is anything more to life than what the world says, and they think it's all about looking like a shining star in the world. There certainly isn't any other higher truth or justice or purpose to us being on this planet. And that's the way they view their life. So even if they feel left out in the cold, even if those people are harsh or controlling or egotistical or self-centered or manipulative, controlling, do you have the things of the world that I want that make me look like I'm victorious and successful? Do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm staying. And they might have some people who come in their life that are like that too. I don't care how you are. This works for me. Do whatever you want. I also don't want to do love. I just want to be in a relationship, to look like I'm a shining star, that I've moved on. Or I just want to be in a relationship with someone who has money and status and image or power. It's good for my ego or my image, you know. So that's where definitely in shadowy Scorpio energy, it's a more emotionally shallow, superficial relationship. And some people like emotionally shallow, superficial relationships because they're afraid of being more authentic. They're afraid of being more vulnerable. They're afraid of taking a leap of faith. And if they can find someone who's willing to stay maybe in a more emotionally shallow, superficial relationship, then that's the type they should be in that relationship. It's a balanced relationship. It's just that other people who got in a relationship with them, who initially could have thought, are we on the same page? Is it more about those things or isn't it? And then they just realized, oh my God, I can't keep living my life like this. This is not my truth. And those people moved on and are communicating with different people in the world who they think are on the same page as them. And the other people are going to keep repeating this pattern because for now it is their truth, and they might repeat it all their life because it might be their truth for life. And we just need to see the truth of it to set ourselves free to go have new beginnings with people who really are on the same page as us. So there you go, Scorpio energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.